Hello, hello.
Hello. Welcome to Talented Trevor, guys. I am Trevor Shelley, and today on my podcast, I have. Let me guys
How
see
you
your
doing?
introductions.
My name is Damien Gemini.
Rafael Gonzalez.
All right. So, Damien, we previously had you in an episode. You already know all the questions I'm going to ask, all the
Yep.
tricks up my sleeves on the show.
Yeah.
All right. But, Mr. Gonzalez, what sparked your interest in the professional wrestling industry?
Well, I've been a fan since I was a kid, so
Yeah.
like I loved watching my first interaction with wrestling was like some old WCW, like watching was it the Saturday One show. I never remember the name because I was a kid. It was something Saturday nights on it was
Saturday
on
Night Live?
it's on TBS. It was on
Yeah.
TBS. It was WCW. Got a chance to watch Flair and guys like that. But um, that's what started my interest in wrestling. I just saw that and I liked it. Um, but my love, like deep love, came when I started
Yeah.
watching the Hart brothers, Owen and Brett. I was a big
Okay.
Hart fan, especially Owen, because I thought Owen was always better than Brett.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Ric Flair, my dad has a story that he tells every time. I don't know if I told Damien yet the
I
story.
don't. I don't think you have. I don't think you have.
So, my dad used to date one of the producers for WCW's daughters.
Hmm.
So, being in the Carolinas, the home of Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen and all that area, he went to the bar, walked in, and he always said, "Around for everybody." So he would have like Sting in the bar, the Road Warriors, um, and a bunch of Lex Luger. But how were you? Uh, who were your wrestling mentors growing up?
I had a few. One thing that happened is I was blessed to have a lot of them. The first guy who trained me was the guy named Ricky Pine or Ricky Star in Puerto Rico. Uh,
Oh,
Guy who wrestled again. He wrestled like you just mentioned Flair. He wrestled Flair. He wrestled Macho Man. Like not in the big WCW and stuff, but like in all the regional and the territories in the United States. Plus, he wrestled in Mexico and Japan. So that was the first mentor I had. But I've had several like Bushwhacker Luke, Alpha the Wild Samoan. Those are kind of two of my bigger mentors. Savio Vega helped me a lot too. So again, I've had a lot of known people that kind of helped me out.
yeah. How did you get started in the wrestling world?
Well, '99, I went to go. I used to work at a restaurant in Puerto Rico called Luby's in East La Verde. Uh, and I used to always talk about wrestling, and I started talking about how I wanted to train. Well,
Okay.
one of the guys, one of the servers, he goes, "Hey, there's a guy outside named Shane the Glamour Boy. He wrestles in IWA in Puerto Rico, which at the time, currently, is one of the bigger companies in the island." He goes, "Yo, he might know someone." And I was like, "Nah." He goes, "Yeah, yeah, go talk to him." So I ran over and asked him, I was like, "Hey, I really would like to be a wrestler. I would like to know if maybe you know someone." And he goes, gives me a name of this guy called Isaac Rosario, which in Puerto Rico, if you get trained by him, you're almost a shoe in because he trained everyone. He trained Primo Colon. He trained Carlito Caribbean Cool. Again, and some of the big stars in the island. You know what I'm saying? I think even Savio got trained by him as well. Uh,
Okay.
I started there, but I'm a fast learner. It has
Yeah.
to be fast. If it's not fast, I lose interest. And he was so slow in how he trained that I lost interest. And then I
Yeah.
left. And then a friend of mine said, "Hey, come to this guy. He's really good and he's really quick." And that was Ricky Star, Ricky Pine, Ricky Pino.
What was your first wrestling match like, if you can remember?
It was a beatdown. Uh,
Okay.
I was obviously being green in the business. Uh, I remember talking to the guy who was a tag team match, and one of the guys' name was Hawk Number One, and it was him and this other dude. I forgot the other guy, but he goes, "Hey, what can you do in the ring?" And I go, "Well, I can do this, I can do that." And he goes, "Okay, well, we'll call it in the ring." And when I got to the ring, anything that I mentioned that I could do, I didn't do. I just got my
Yeah.
ass whooped the whole match. But that's the way it was back in the day. You know, a lot of guys used to just kick their ass and you just keep on going. You know?
Yeah. What are your goals in the future for wrestling?
Well, right now, my bigger goal would be probably just keep on training new students. I I've been doing this already for 25 years. You know, some of the goals I plan to do, I managed to achieve it. Like when I started, my plan was to wrestle in IWA in Puerto Rico on TV, and I did that for about a year. Uh, and then everything else I've done after that has been gravy. You know, I went to England, wrestled in England. I have a chance to, as you know, my son Damien. You know, I've wrestled with him as a team, and that's something that
Yeah.
is I don't think I can replicate that. Uh, it's a good feeling to know that I have that. And we became champions in FIP, first ever father son tag team there. So it's not only privilege to do that, but it's an honor to be able to do that. And then also I'm also a WXW Hall of Famer with the now the defunct, hopefully returning WXW wrestling from Alpha Samoa.
Okay. So we also have a promotion called XWW up here, up in the Carolinas. Extreme World Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
They've had Heath Slater, John Schuyler, um, Angelina Love, Rhett Titus, like all the ex WWE stars for TNA.
Yeah.
But it cracks me when I meet all these guys after the shows, and they're like, "How do you feel like meeting me, like this big star?" And I'm like, "Look, dude, I'm treating you as a guy in the locker room, okay?" I'm like, I have buddies across the world right now with wrestling, so I'm like, it's not like a big deal. Like if it was this person I've been trying to get booked on the show for 2 seasons, Brooke Havoc, the big star over on the West Coast. She was part of Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall's promotion academy
Yeah. Make my
in Georgia.
friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first class and everything, and got one of her ring gear actually framed up in my room that she debuted her AEW debut in.
Yeah.
And my buddy asked me, he's like, "Are you ever gonna part with that gear?" And I was like, "Probably not," just because she's one of those wrestlers you want to get to know, hang out with, and be best friends with, especially with like all that experience with being on AEW, Ring of Honor, wrestled in Japan. Can you describe your wrestling persona or character?
Which character?
Either one.
I have two characters. For the most part, my career has been centered around the Puerto Rican Hondo, which is obviously like a modern version of the Junkyard Dog.
Okay.
The original idea of Puerto Rican Hound Dog was not what I'm doing, even though it's kind of twisted to that. The original was more. I like K Dog. I loved Conan back when he was in WCW, and I liked the whole style. So I was thinking of a little bit of mix between Conan and Road Dog because I like
Okay.
Road Dog. I like Road Dog's talking and the way he moves in the ring. Uh, and then what ended up happening, I started working in IWA with Bush Driver Loops, and uh, then what we're gonna do with you is we're gonna go back old school. I think the Moondog gimmick would work with you great. And I was like, well, whatever you want, I just want a job. And he was like, well, fuck, mate, we're gonna get you. You need a bone and cut up jeans and a shirt. that has a dog on it, and we'll do that. And I was like, all right. And then the first day, I messed up my whole gear. I had the pants, but I couldn't find a shirt with dogs on it, and I didn't have a bone. I get to the venue, and I tell him I don't have a bone, and he goes, "Well, fuck, mate, you messed up the whole gimmick as it is. Now, what are we gonna do?" I was like, "Well, I got a chain." He was like, "I guess we can use a fucking chain, but I need the fucking bone." And that was it. And then he saw me with the T-shirt. He was even more mad because I was just with the plain white tee that I cut the sleeves off, and he's like, "I said a dog shirt." I was like, I couldn't find nothing. Uh, but that's how it started. That's Hound Dog. Now my
Yeah,
other gimmick, which Damien will put a face on immediately, uh, her name is Luscious Lola Star, and she's a very flamboyant girl, very nice, very high maintenance, a little cookie for Cocoa Puffs, loves the hair, you know what I'm saying? But today I'm just plain dog. But yeah, look at Damien's face. He's like, damn,
Listen,
why? Why?
that character. I was in high school when I started wrestling, as I told you in the last episode, and we had a show that night, and of course I invited my friends and teachers, and one of the teachers came, and my friend loved it, and so did the teacher. But the next day I had to go to school, so I went to school the next day, and of course, uh, the teacher took photos and videos and showed the whole all the teachers. So they're coming up to me, and goes, "Is that your dad?" And I go, "Oh Lord,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, that's
damn,
that's my
yeah.
dad. That's my dad." That was the talk. That was probably, I want to say that was the talk of the year for the teachers. Because
yeah,
it was funny, but I was like, this, I'm gonna hear this. I knew I was gonna hear it the next day, and I did, and I was
yeah,
I was I was embarrassed, but I laughed it off because it was kind of funny. You know, the teachers
yeah.
loved it. Everyone loved it.
Well, see, when I first got back into wrestling in 2019, when Chris Dankoff, if you're the YouTuber
Yeah,
that plays the character Chris Danger.
yep.
Ah, yep, yep.
So originally, when I wanted to be a wrestler, my name was going to be AJ Danger. It had a whole storyline with this whole character.
Mm-hmm.
So AJ Danger is Chris Danger's long lost brother that got jealous and everything and got tired of him like hogging all the social media fame. But
That works.
last year at WrestleCade, I actually met Chris Danger and was pitched the idea to him, and he was like, "Look, if you became a wrestler, we can work with this." I was like, "Only problem is I go by Trevor now." So I was like,
always,
"Trevor Danger does not have like a good ring to it."
you can always change it. You
Yeah,
know, you became you had you sounded it out. You liked it more. You said, "Forget this name."
yeah. But he got trained over at Firestar Pro Wrestling up in
Firestone. Yep.
Greensboro, North Carolina, under Cozone,
Oh,
which is a DPW. One of their champions. Can't think of the name.
I might know who you're talking. I know exactly who you're talking about. I just can't remember the name.
Yeah, I've
They're
had
in North Carolina. PPW.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. They're a
what's
big
the name of
company
the
over
company?
there.
DPW.
I believe it's Deadlock Pro Wrestling. If I'm
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Deadlock Pro Wrestling. If I'm
They're
correct,
currently on tour in New Jersey.
yeah, they're touring around.
Hey, that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean when you got like big stars, they got Diego Hill on there, uh,
Jake something.
Bojack, and a lot of like wrestlers that they bring in that are free agents. They brought in Roderick Strong,
Yeah.
Yeah,
um, Motor Machine Guns.
Javon Evans is there too. Uh,
Yeah,
I forgot his name in the Indies, but yeah, Lucky Ali, who I actually met him. He was really cool when I met him. Lucky Ali
so
was there too. I believe he was like their champ for like a while too. but I met him once, and he was just a super nice guy.
So funny story about what's his name? We were just talking about him, Javon Evans.
Hmm.
So I'm buddies with one of his friends that trained with him. What's his name? Can't. What's his name? We just texted Jackson Drake.
Second grade.
Just got ID'd for a Dota B.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So him and Javon were walking around WrestleCade with Bojack. Javon decided to be the person to go wear a mask to like not have people like asking for pictures.
Yeah.
But when I'm like buddies with like the promoters that had him on the show, and we're all just chilling in the lobby just talking, and Javon just comes up, talks to the owner and everything, and I'm like, it's Javon Evans under that mask. I was like, I don't need to even see your face, see the eyes, or see how you wrestle, buddy. I just know your voice. And I was like, you're kind of well known in the Carolinas.
What happens though? It happens because me and Damien say this all the time. Like he gets surprised of how many people know me. He'll be
Yeah,
like, "I didn't know you know this guy. I didn't know you know that guy." And I'm like, "I know a lot of people." The sucky part is I know so many people that I forget more people that I know.
right.
It's funny. It's funny you says
It's,
that too, because we just had like a an interaction with Bobby Fish back in April, and we're driving there to WXW's last show. Um, and he goes, I was like, Dad, Bobby Fish is going to be there. Loki's going to be there. And he goes, I know Bobby Fish. I trained with him once. And I was like, oh, you did? I didn't know
a few
that. And he
times
goes, yeah,
actually.
but a few times. And he goes, but I don't think he remembers me. And I go, oh, come on, Dad. You don't know that. Like, that's, don't go there thinking that. Maybe he does, you know? And we get there and I go, I introduce myself and he introduces himself. And he goes, I know you. I remember you. I don't remember your name, but the only reason why I
I
remember you is because of the hair.
the hair.
And he goes,
I tell him
I told you.
I was like, hey, I know you don't remember me, but nice to meet you again. He goes, I know you. I don't remember your name, but I know you. I was like, I know the hair. I think the face there. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then he was like, he popped. He was like, yes, I told you. I told you. I told you.
Yeah, I did. I did.
And one thing that would always a guy that always remembers me is a guy named Drew Hood.
Good. I've heard his name.
Drew Hood.
I've heard him.
He was just I think he was just in Florida recently.
He wasn't
Yeah,
in the thing with the in FIP, right? With the Battle of the Belts thing,
No,
right?
it was Generation Championship Wrestling.
I believe so.
He wrestled. He was in the ring with. He wrestled August Artois.
Okay.
Was that
So
the last show that you weren't there, or
That
yes?
was the recent. Yeah, I was out of state. I was on vacation,
I
and they
did meet him.
rented me a
Yes,
ring.
yeah. Yeah, I remember. I
Right.
remember.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember. I met him.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
he's
there,
super
but
good. He was a good dude. Very nice. Very respectful. He's really nice.
we'll see. I was like, well, wrestling's not going to work out for me. What if I try to be like a manager? And me and Drew would like talk every show that he wrestled that I went to. And me noticing like every show he shows up with an energy drink. I was like, cool, let me like, kiss butt and see if this could work. So I went to a show before, helped set up the ring and everything, and then brought him an energy drink too, which is funny enough, I can still remember what flavor and what brand the drink is. It's a Perform One, their USA drink.
I've
Is it
never
It's
heard
good?
sold
of
at
them.
Is it good?
QT's.
Because I need a new energy drink. I quit drinking energy drinks, so
Yes.
None for you. You're done.
You gotta go to QT's to find them,
fuck yeah.
or their
I'm gonna have to
website.
go online.
Yeah.
Nah,
Online.
you don't need to drink those, Dad.
If you say so, son.
Nah,
But
you
see,
don't
for,
even.
every time I drink them, the flavors like they spot on. Like you don't taste like no artificials. You don't taste
Yeah.
like the chemicals. It's just straight up. USA tastes like the ice cream. The ice cream pops.
Ice cream. Okay.
See, if it's like that, then maybe I might have to try it. Yep.
No, nah.
Yeah.
You didn't feel. Didn't feel.
And then they
What
got
you
a
got me
flavor
then?
called pina colada.
Oh,
Okay. Uh,
oh.
pina colada. That sounds
And
Put
pretty
then
some
good.
a
Bacardi.
green.
Put some Bacardi in it while you're drinking it. Spike it up just a tad. Just a tad.
Can you share a? I mean, can you describe your feeling of winning your first championship match?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest here. I've won a few championship matches, and the first ones weren't. I didn't care about the belts. Uh, in wrestling, belts are props,
Yeah,
and the man makes the belt, not the other way around. And I really wasn't a fan of winning belts. I just wanted to wrestle. Uh,
yeah,
the first real championship that I had a feeling that I was like, "Oh my god, this is great," was at WXW when I won the WXW Television Championship there. Um, that one was a while because there was a time in my career that I thought I wasn't good enough, and I think we all go through that. Like, there's lots of times that I'm like, "Ugh, I'm not good enough. I shouldn't be doing this. I don't even know why I'm doing this." And I remember they told me, and I didn't win it per se. It was more like I took it. I awarded myself the belt, and it was like an angle, but Alpha and them, they were like, "We want you to do that. We think you can carry the belt for a couple, a few shows, and it'll be good to have people you get keep because now you didn't earn anything, you took it, and if you can run with it a bit, it'll be fun." And I ran with it for like maybe 4 shows, I think it was, uh, which is fun for me because and again that was the first time I was like, wow, they believe in what I can do in the ring to then do this. And then the second belt I won that meant something to me was the WWE Proving Ground Tag Champions when my son and I won them. That was a great feeling. If anything, that's been the best feeling I've had winning a belt because one, it was a shoot. Like
yeah,
it was a legit feeling of happiness for that moment because again we started this thing, we were like, oh, we don't care. Honestly, even him, I trained him. And one of the things, belts are props. Don't yeah,
yeah,
we want people to recognize us for being a champion, this, that, and the other, but we want people to remember our work over how many belts we have. And don't get me
yeah.
wrong, stats for the fans, the stats of winning belts are great. Oh, he's had this belt several times. I mean, the company believed in him enough times. I I like having solid matches. I want people to say, "Yo, I can put that guy with anyone, and he'll pull a match." I'm hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm hurt, and being hurt, my son can tell you, I'll go out and I'll be limping right before I get out there. In the moment our music hits and we go through the curtain or through the door or whatever, I don't have any pain. Nope, there's no pain. I forget everything.
Yeah.
Get my match done, and I can be doing some stuff. Like my son can tell you, I'll be flipping, jumping, rolling like I'm a cruiserweight, and nothing. And then once the match is over, ding, 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 I walk to the back. I sort of get through. That's it. My body's like an old 1966 Pinto that's just like walking like an old man, you know. But yeah, like going back to that, the best feeling I had was an accomplishment that I never thought I'd have to be able to do this. I didn't even think. Listen, to be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to make it to 45. And
Okay.
not only that, not only not think I was going to make it to 45, but not think that I was going to be able to tag with my son. That's an accomplishment that I don't think not a lot of guys, or there's a few guys that could say they felt it, but me it was special. Very
Yeah.
special.
How do you handle the emotional and mental aspects of wrestling?
I don't. Let me explain. I try not to stress. I have a lot of stress in my natural life. So if there's any stress from wrestling, I will remove myself from that stress, from that problem, from that situation. Because at the end of the day, if I'm not there for the problem, then it cannot affect me.
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong. If I have to confront someone and be like, "Yo, what's your problem? You got a problem?" I won't shy away from that either. I ain't scared of no one. Uh, However, I also just I'd rather just walk away. I don't need
Yeah.
it. You know, right now we were supposed to do a show in a couple weeks, and there was some drama, and because of drama, I stepped away.
Yeah.
I, I'm not going to, divulge our company. I'm not going to say that because it's personal between them and myself. However, if you have drama, then I'm not going to be there. And the same thing, I run my own company. And when there's drama in there, I tell them, this is my company. So if you guys don't like it, you guys can leave.
Yeah.
You're not coming to my company and tell me what I'm doing in my company. You're not going to tell me what I'm going to do, how I'm going to run things here. No, no, no. There's a door you can go. Goodbye. I
Yeah.
don't. There's too many talented guys out there that want to work, and then some of them that people don't give them an opportunity because they're not as good as people want them to be. So I like the guys who can't work because I try to look for the ones that their strengths, and I try to build up on their strengths. You know what I'm saying? So again, I don't. You got drama, man. Take it with you. I don't need it.
So, Damien, you know what's the next segment, if you remember?
Maybe don't remember nothing.
I remember the beginning. I remember the beginning.
The the Trev Shock segment.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. Okay, yes.
So I'm gonna break it down for your dad. It's like Stone Cold's podcast where he has that set time that you have to answer.
Get you.
Yeah.
Just a
So
quick
my
fire questions. Quick fire
yes.
questions. Poop pop, poop pop. I got you. I got you.
So you got 50 seconds to answer 6 questions. They're simple and
Okay.
easy.
All right.
Damien can try that.
Super easy,
He's
Dad.
shaking his head. He's like, I can't vouch for nothing.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa. All right.
Let's go.
I mean,
Let's go.
Damien
Come on.
did beat it by like what was it, 2 seconds, I believe.
It was 1 second. I beat it by one
1 second.
second. Yeah.
Bro, that brain was on slow mo. Let's see.
Just a
I'm,
little
I'm
bit.
I'm getting older. Just because I get
Yeah.
older, might be a little wiser. I'm still a little slower as I get older. So let's see.
As you say, age don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. In this case, my brain's a little slow. So let's see.
Well, I don't want to make it like bad, but the guy before this episode that I got, he beat it by 25 seconds.
Yeah, that was fast.
I don't know
All right.
how he did it because I didn't text him the script or anything. Didn't text anybody.
It was, man.
It's
It's just some people think about stuff like this.
Right.
Sometimes,
Because
sometimes people, sometimes people just want those. I need a segment with quick fire questions. Bam, bam, bam. I will shoot them off. Bam, bam, bam. So come on. I'm ready.
okay. All right, everybody. If you don't know this segment's Trev Shock, which you guys will find out what it is. It's my favorite segment because I designed it myself. We have modified it in 2 seasons to now the big 3 season where we have big stars. Great example, we have Damien's dad that has been in the wrestling business for a good time and has wrestled a lot of great wrestlers. All right. First question is, what's your pre-show snack?
um, anything I can get my hands on. It's just really I just eat food.
Pre-show song.
Um, Honestly, they might laugh at me and get mad, but I like listening to a lot of Dax stuff. I listen to Dax, the alcohol stuff like that. Pretty good.
Favorite wrestler growing up.
Owen Hart,
Favorite sports team.
New York Knicks,
Favorite color.
black.
Favorite type of music?
I love everything except country.
Okay. So you beat it with 5 seconds to spare. So you beat Damien.
See, I told you age don't matter.
Those are easy questions. I thought he had something intricate. How far is the sun from here? I don't know. Far? you know,
I'm gonna keep that in mind for like later on episodes.
Questions like this, like, yo, when you have an argument with your wife, who's right? I don't know. I don't touch that subject. I'm always wrong.
I'm gonna be honest.
See?
I actually liked it when he asked me these questions. I was like, oh, this is cool. And some of the questions, I was like, I gotta think about it for a second.
Yeah. Well, like the
Like the
pre-music
first,
thing.
the
Well, I
music
know you're.
when he asked
I
me.
know. I know that music should be easy because you listen to a lot of Juice World, so that's probably what you listen to. That's him right there. I can see it now. Yo, you know what
Well,
his
see,
pre
you
his
stuff
pre
like
wrestling snack is? Taquitos. 7-Eleven
No,
taquitos.
no, it's lifesavers.
Lifesavers. Oh yeah, gummy lifesavers. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
let me get a snack. What do you want? Gummy saver lifesavers. Yeah.
see if I can get my dad over here to tell his WCW's a couple of his stories. Hey, Dad.
Dad. Hey, Dad. Hey, a
You know
dad
what
to
I'm
a dad. Come on.
about to ask you. What? Oh,
Come on,
WCW.
Dad.
This guy's wrestled a bunch of the people you got to see at the bar, and many more.
Listen, I wrestled Haku. I wrestled Bob Cook. I wrestled Jody Malenko. I wrestled I said Haku. I wrestled the Sons of Samoa. I wrestled, shoot, I've even trained with Alpha live and in person. Popped me right in the mouth. So,
You've
good
also
stuff.
wrestled with Flair. You said.
Huh? What happened?
You said you wrestled with Flair.
No, no, my trainer wrestled with Flair. My
Okay.
trainer wrestled with Flair.
All
Shit, if
right,
I would have
Dad.
wrestled Flair, man, I could have retired already.
Exactly. But all right, go ahead and start.
So, Park Road Shopping Center, right?
Yes, sir.
There's used to be a bar on the back side of it,
Okay.
and or WCW or NWS, which one it was at the time. It's when the Crockett's owned them,
Mm-hmm.
and they got done with the match, and we went up to the bar because I dated a girl that her dad worked for the Crockett's, and he got the film and all that. So I got to meet. That's where I met a lot of wrestlers. But we went to the bar afterwards, and Flair walked in with the Tommy Jones was his main referee,
I
and
know
he
what you're
goes
talking
rounds for everybody, and does this woo and
about.
everything. But he bought everybody in the bar a drink that night,
But see, that's
and
the thing, though. But that's the
uh,
whole thing of that's what wrestling's missing. A lot of people that believe their gimmick so much, they believe who they are, they get other people to believe that. Because we all know afterwards now that Flair was half the time broke. He lived
right,
the life that he lived the character so much that we thought he was really balling with it, and then find out he was most of his career he was broke. You
right.
know, running in he was literally he get do his taxes. I'm on the red every time. Like, dude, you didn't land on the black once in a while. Like, you didn't land good. No, man. So
Well, he's been married what 4 times,
shoot,
4 or 5 times.
sounds like
Good
Hogan, right?
lord.
The
Huh?
Hogan has like 15 wives. What is
Yeah, he just divorced his last one.
Oh
you
my
know?
god.
You know
Oh,
what I'm talking about?
no.
Why do you think they brought him back to the WWE?
Hey,
15 times?
no, it's an example. I'm just talking
Oh,
smack.
I
He's
was
been
gonna
married.
say,
He's been
good
married. He's
lord.
been married 3 to 4 times. If I'm correct, like Bushwhacker Luke, he's been married like 4 times.
That's still
Some of the
too
boys
many
do
times.
that. Some of the boys just do that.
Wow.
But yeah,
It's just the way it is.
I used to see all of them hang out at Isla Mall, all the Road Warriors without the pain. I used to see
Yeah. I got
when
blessed. I've met so many people. I've met so many people doing this. And I even wrestled in England, but I've been blessed to meet so many people that I see them and
Yeah,
it's friends like Haku. I see Haku at least in a month. I can see him maybe, or at least in a year I'll see him like 8 or 9 times, and he gives me a hug like he's known me forever. He's freaking awesome. The
yeah,
Cuban assassin that used to wrestle in NWA. I know him. He's super cool. Like uh, Gerald Briscoe, super cool guy. B. Brian Blair. Damien's met him when he was a kid. Alpha was he considered Alpha. He considered Alpha the Wild Samoan like his wrestling grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Like he's met Superfly Jimmy Snuka. He's met Soulman Rocky Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been blessed to meet all these people, and for him to know them too, which he's laughing because there's a story with that. We say this joking all the time, but we used to laugh
I
because we always say that Soul Man was always trying to hit on my wife.
I listen. When I was a kid, we did. They do this. I met him, and it was his birthday, and my mom told me Rocky Johnson would flirt with me, and I go, "You're joking? No way. That's not true. You're lying." I I I said this. I said, "Mom, you're lying to me right now." She goes, "Okay,
Let's put it
fine,
this way.
bet."
Let's put it this way. God rest his soul. He don't remember my name, but he remembers my wife's.
He remembered my
He would
mom's
see
name.
her and go, hey guy, how you doing? Hey Mona, how you doing? Come here, Ramona, and give her a hug. And I'm like, bro, I told my wife, I was like, yo, if I lose you to the soul man Rocky Johnson, it's okay.
Maybe. I mean, I used to see Ivan Koloff all the time. The Greek restaurant at Central Piedmont. He used to eat there all the time.
Yeah.
And he used to come
We've been
up to me, just come on, sit down with me and eat with me.
like I said, I've been in the ring with some of the guys that I never thought I'd be able to even think about. Like I said, I wrestled Haku, Gene Snitsky. I was in the ring with King Kong Bundy. I was in the ring with Just Incredible, Tony DeVito from ECW, Jason Knight from ECW. I've met we've met Damien and I have met Bill Alfonso, Two Cold Scorpio, uh, oh my God, Jerry Lynn. I've met guys, Viscera, New Jack. I tell you the list of people: Billy Gunn, Conan, R Truth, Viscera. Like I mentioned Viscera, but I've met these guys and Balls Mahoney, and I've had conversation with them. So I've been able to Chris Candido. You know what I'm saying? I've met these guys, and like we are talking, and I totally forgot. Like as much as I have mentors, Chris Candido's the reason I got my big job in Puerto Rico. You
yeah,
know, um, it's I think sometimes we forget we have so many people that we actually have to thank, and we forget to thank all the people because it's such a long list for some of us. Like
yeah,
Damien's had a few guys that have guided him, but there's so many people that I've talked to that have given me advice. Rikishi, Tonga Kid. I'm telling you the list of people that I have sat down and talked to for hours. Ricky Santana. You know what I'm saying? It's so long. And sometimes like right now like the Bobby Fish, I totally forgot about that until I remember he was talking about it. I was like, oh shit, I trained with Bobby Fish, and he was like, what? Yeah, I trained with him. It's just we gotta remember that stuff. This is stuff that I wish that I had like a better memory of all the people I've met, because I've met guys that have helped my career, and I could not I could probably see him right now and probably not be able to put the face to the name to the face because I forgot. Like I said, I've forgotten so many people. I've gotten so many concussions. I've forgotten. I forgot days because of this wrestling. You know, but
yeah,
there's a blessing. This is a blessing. I love doing this.
yeah. Well, everybody, that was Papa Shelly.
Bye, Pops.
All right, back to these questions I got for you. What are the biggest challenges of being a professional wrestler outside of the ring?
Having a solid relationship. Uh, this is my third wife or partner.
Person catch up?
My first wife left me because of wrestling My second wife, we didn't see eye to eye, and I'm not going to get too much into detail of that. And my current wife, she supports it. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't spend as much time as I should with her, but that's just part of the business, and it sucks. But that's it. It's just having a better relationship. Like, there were times I wish I could be around for stuff at home. I already got myself booked and stuff, and I have to go. And I try to make sure Damien understands this. Like, I don't like canceling bookings. Uh, if I have a good reason to cancel it, I will, but I don't like to. And if I can avoid canceling it, I will. Um, you
Yeah.
know, that's it. That's just having a solid relationship that you won't miss stuff with your family.
How do you feel about the business side of wrestling and the role of promoting and shaping storylines?
With wrestling, the promoting of the shows, it's a lost art. Um, the people that are packing their shows in the indies, or
Yeah.
what do you want to call it, semi-pros, indies. I hate calling indie wrestling. Because the moment we start doing this and we're performing, I'm already a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that a lot of people are going to say indie wrestling. So I just keep on with the flow of what everyone says. But professional wrestling as a whole, we've lost a
Yeah.
lot of basic things that will make shows a show. Uh, Everyone
Yeah.
wants to be a star, and no one wants to always put the work in. Little stuff like promoting. Listen, I know it's my company as a whole, but at the
Yeah.
same time, you want to work in the show, right? And you want to get paid, right? Well, you got to promote it so that way you can get paid too. Because if you have fans that want to see you, but you didn't promote the show, then they're not going to know you're there.
Yeah.
It's a give and take. I have to promote just as much as you. And again, if you want if you want people to come and see you to pay that ticket, that's something that as a worker and a promoter we both have to do.
Yeah.
It's what the business lost. It's an old school mentality of good street team going out there and flying out.
Yeah.
It brings in people because not everyone goes on social media and looks. Half the time, I see stuff on social media constantly, and unless it's someone I know, I'll scroll right through. There have been promotions I've seen. I go, oops, whoops, whoops, and this is on social media.
Yeah.
So
If you could wrestle any legendary wrestler from the past, who would it be and why?
that's a tricky one, but I do have an answer. I have two guys that I would love to just have one. Actually, sorry, three guys. Uh, Obviously, Owen Hart would be my number one because that's who I loved working and watching work. I was a big fan. D'Lo Brown, I patented a lot of my stuff to D'Lo Brown. That dude does not have. Let's put it this way. In my opinion, he should have had not. This is great that he was Intercontinental Champion and a Euro Intercontinental and Hardcore. He should have had at least one small run as a world champion. He had the
Hmm.
tools. He can talk on the mic like he was good, and that's some person I would love to not only work but to see as a world champion.
Yeah.
And my last guy is one of the guys that I loved watching because he was so good. No matter what era I see him, it could be in the late early '80s, '90s, 2000 before he passed away. Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie
That man
Guerrero.
was fire no matter what. He was fire no matter what.
Yeah. If you could attend a wrestling session with any wrestler, who would you pick?
That's a hard question. If you would have had that question on a Spitfire questions, I would have been done. Yeah, I wouldn't have passed you, Damien. See, um, you know, I'm gonna say this, and I'm just thinking about it now, and it's because you put me on the spot to think.
Yeah.
I I want to say that even though Owen Hart is my favorite and stuff, I think I've already had that experience of talking to a legend that's
Yeah.
helped me as much as he can, and that'll be Alpha the Wild Samoan. Uh,
Okay.
when I'm telling you that this man, we might have bumped heads a few times. Uh, I got fired. I guess you can say fired or let go or whatever from his company. I don't know. At the end of the day, every time I called to come back, I'm one of his kids. He brought me back. Um,
Yeah.
Alfredo Watson is the guy that molded me for a good 6, 7 years when I was already doing this for 8, and he polished some stuff out, made me a better performer, made me understand more things. He would question what I would do and then ask me why I did it, and then he would break it down why I shouldn't have done it, or I should have done
Yeah.
this instead of that. And that's one thing that helped me a lot. So Alpha would be my answer. And again, I already did it.
If you could have a wrestling legend as your mentor, who would you choose?
You know who I would like? I think it'd be cool, and I could change my gimmick at the same time and be like the Hounds of Hell. I would take
Yeah.
Undertaker as a good mentor.
So this next segment, it's just really a question. It's so on WWE 2K24, I have a universe mode called the Shockverse or universe.
Okay,
Damien, do you remember your answer was?
probably sucked like his wrestling.
I mentioned no, that was for the wrestling session.
You need me to list off the title again?
Yeah. Send me the list. Say the list.
Okay. So we got a world title, we got a tag title, you got your mid card, and you got your cruiserweight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which title would you pick to go
Me,
for? Yeah.
I I'm a workhorse,
Yeah.
and I would take the mid card because as important as that main event championship is, I've always
Mm-hmm.
considered myself a mid solid guy who can I can run with the top guy in the company, and then I can run with anyone else and make them look good or elevate their standard. I'd be a
Yeah.
solid. I know I could be a main event. I've held world championships in other places or what's considered world championships. But at the same time, I know what my worth is, and I'm your
Yeah.
guy who can work with anybody and make them
Yeah.
look good and make sure I always look good. You know,
Yeah.
unless I hurt myself like I did a couple weeks ago. So.
I do
So
remember.
there. So speaking about Truth, you said you got to meet Ron Killens,
Yes.
Archer. So funny enough, I met him. He was doing a wrestlers' night out at the local hockey minor league team over here,
Yeah.
the Charlotte Strikers. And I asked him, I was like, "Where's little Jimmy?" Oh, he's running around with the title. Okay. And all you can see is Archer holding the USA title.
Mm-hmm.
And like you can just see like so many people just like really questioning
No,
what
Jimmy.
title Jimmy got. Even the
That
security goes,
they
the
were
security
looking
even,
for.
he was like, "Where do I?" He was like, "Let me go find little Jimmy and see what title he stole from the company."
Oh man.
And I'm like, truth. I was like, I've only met you this one time, but I was like, as a guy that's been watching you since your debut with TNA back when he was on Killings,
Yep.
and I was like, your character work in WWE by far is my favorite.
Oh, dude, he is so hilarious. Um,
Yes.
my only pet peeve is I wish he'd add more stuff to his repertoire. But he don't need to at this point. You know, he's already 50 something. You know, he don't need to. He
Yeah.
can keep it simple. But in TNA, he was so much. He was a different worker. Uh, but
Yeah.
even then, like before that, when he was K Quick, when he started, he was K Quick and tagging with Road Dogg and stuff. They thought that was going to be a solid tag team that they were going to get belts, and then they had them in a few matches. I thought they were going to win. I don't think they won the belt. And
Yeah.
that was disappointing because they were such a good team together. So
Exactly. Here, what were you saying, Damien?
I remembered what I picked, and it was world title.
World title?
of
Yeah.
course you would. Of course you would.
But
I
once
would.
you
Yeah.
think about it, like PK, you would be like, no, I want that title.
Yes.
I will shoot Damien that picture of that title when I get on 2K later. All right. What's your opinion on wrestling crossover events and other sports and entertainment industries?
Can you repeat that?
What's your opinion on the wrestling crossover events with other sports and entertainment industries?
I love it because now it makes other people who do not watch wrestling want to tune in.
Yeah.
It gives our outlet now a bigger audience
Yeah.
because there's people out there that never seen wrestling. I've seen it at local shows here. You bring someone who's never been to a wrestling event, they get brought in and they're like, "Whoa!" I have a cousin who's never seen a wrestling show, and she just recently came to one of ours, and she was like, "What in the hell? This is awesome!" And she popped. So the problem is everyone thinks, "Oh," and I hate this word, fake. It's not fake. It's not. It really is not. And I hate when if someone says fake in front of me, I want to punch him. I probably would be the
Yeah.
guy to slap him and get in trouble, but fuck it. You're not gonna sit here and call my shit fake. It's not fake because I have proof. I've gotten concussions. I've dislocated my shoulders, so it's not fake. What
Yeah.
I am gonna say is, are you entertained when you watch it? Do you like what you're seeing? Are you impressed when you got a 330-pound guy do a moonsault? Are you impressed with that same 330-pound doing a suicide outside the ropes? Then it's not fake. It's entertainment. I'll let you say
Yeah.
entertainment, but we ain't gonna call it fake. And that's what other people look. Oh, I don't want to watch that. It's fake. Man, shut up. Because most wrestlers I know are probably just as badass and strong-willed than any other sport. Again, how many times I've gotten hurt? I've been hurt, and I haven't. I think I've cut down in 25 years of wrestling. I've only stopped one match early, and that was a couple weeks ago because I couldn't walk.
Okay.
I've dislocated my shoulder. I've had concussions and still finished matches. Uh,
Yeah.
any other sport, they get a concussion, they wheel them out. They
Yeah.
dislocate a shoulder, they wheel them out. Wrestling is the only sport that you dislocate your shoulder or even mess up your knee, and you can still try to work it. You will try, and we will try to work through it.
Yeah.
So I think that's good for other people to see that pro wrestlers are the real deal.
Yeah. What advice would you give to an aspiring wrestler?
Don't go at this half-ass. If you go half-ass, you'll never make it. You'll never do anything. You got to take
Yeah.
this like it's what you really want. You've got to really want this. This is about wants. Some people are like, I need to do this. No, you don't need to do this. If you're saying you need to do this, then you need to not be doing this. You got to want this. This has got to be something you want. Like nothing can stop you. It's like you want to reach for the stars. Well, then you got to want this bad.
Yeah. Can you talk about a significant rivalry you had and how it helped you grow as a wrestler?
um, in Puerto Rico, I had a rivalry with a guy named Chicano. It was a really good. We had a lot of good matches. It was good because this guy he liked to he's what he was to me then is what I am to people now. Um, he took me under his wing, and we had a rivalry. We were going feuding and stuff, but he would take me under his wing. He said, "This is what we need to do, and this is what we need to do, and that what we need to do," and that made me a stronger worker.
Yeah.
It made me open my eyes to other things that I still was still learning. Um, yeah, like good rivalries can bring out the best in you to the point that fans won't know what's real or not.
Yeah. What was it like working with a particular wrestler that you really clicked with in the ring?
It was awesome to the point that I don't have to say nothing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna even mention the guy. I worked Jonathan Hudson, and he's a solid guy, very good guy. Actually, two guys have worked like this: Jonathan Hudson and Rich Porter, and both guys are freaking phenomenal. Um,
Yeah.
and the one thing good about it is that we discussed certain things, but everything was done in the ring that I didn't even have to. They didn't have to say nothing. I didn't have to say nothing. We just did the damn thing, and
Yeah.
it flowed. It wasn't like you could see like, oh no, it flowed. Like if I was gonna do something, he already knew it was coming. If he was gonna do something, I knew it was coming. And that's when you have people that are that good that you don't even have to say nothing. You can just look and you know what's coming around and you're ready. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's always great.
Yeah. Can you describe your training process and what was the most challenging part of learning to wrestle?
So when I started wrestling, I didn't have no confidence. Like most of us, we all battle with some type of thing. Confidence and I've always been a big heavy guy, and those were the things that kind of messed with me. But I had a lot of good people to kind of get that out of my head, and once they saw I picked up stuff, they would push me to do more and more and more. And that was probably the harder part, having confidence to perform in front of people and look at myself and going, I look the part. And then coming to realization that not everyone's gonna look the part of what people want to see. Um,
Yeah.
Here's an example: like you got a lot of guys. I can't give you a job because you don't look like a professional wrestler. Well, Umaga didn't look like a professional wrestler. Uh,
Yeah.
what about Rikishi? He didn't look like a professional wrestler. They were big guys. Vader.
If I may add one more guy too, and this is probably one of the most a very big guy who's about as big as my dad, in my opinion, is very underrated. Keith Lee. That
Yeah.
guy can do everything. High flying, hard hitting, he can do it all. And that man is 300 and something pounds doing cruiserweight moves.
Yeah.
And that's
That's a
one thing
big
I
guy.
try to
That's a
tell.
big guy.
That's so I train students as well, like I said. And my one pet peeve with them is I can't. Well, dude, if you can't, then go home because can't don't live here. Can't don't pay bills. Can't don't belong in my school. You want to say can't?
Yeah.
There's the door. You know what you can do? Get the heck out of my school because if you cannot do what we're asking you, then you won't make it. And that's one thing. Everyone says can't. My son will tell you they pay the price. I'm talking about we're running, we're doing squats, we're I have you doing up downs. I'm having everything I can think of because you said can't. Hey, I need you to take a bump. I can't. What? Did you say no? I didn't say I can't. I said I'm sore. Oh, you sore. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But can't. I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
And I always purposely when they say they can't, I purposely I'll come up and I'll do a moonsault off the rip for no reason. And they'd be like, "What the hell?" I was like, "So can you do it now?" Yeah. You can do it. Don't use excuses.
Yeah. Um, what brings you joy outside of the ring, like hobby wise or
Fishing.
fishing?
Went on a boat. Rented a few boats, a few times. Got on the boat. I love fishing. Uh, don't tell my wife. I like going out with her. She finds out, she's gonna get me in trouble. But yeah, I like hanging out with my wife.
Um, what was your favorite gear that you have ever worn?
Actually, you want the truth is, I've had several gears and stuff. Nothing was as cool as when me and Damien had the Puerto Rican flag gear.
Okay.
We had the jeans because we were tagging. I had some other stuff. but I got this Puerto Rican flag done with the dog logo, like the palm on the front, and his initials on the back, and my initials on the back. And that's just some of the that's even though they need some work, they needed some work, but they were still cool. And we look like officially, we look like a tag team, which is what everyone was kept on. Oh, now you look like a tag team. We look
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah. Where can they find you on social media?
I would say go to look for Rafael Hound Dog Gonzalez, but that one got hacked, so don't look for me there. If you go and look for Rafael Quinones Gonzalez on YouTube, it's apparently what you and not YouTube, Facebook is where you're gonna find me at. I don't partake so much in social media. I'm not as good as my son here who uploads 1,000 things for no reason. He got a picture of a cat. He uploaded it. You're a dog. Why you have pictures of cats? I don't know. I don't know. But
I don't
Hey,
remember posting any cat. I don't
it's an
like that.
example. It's an example. I'm just saying. I don't do it as much. I need to get more. I need to get myself better. I do have a Puerto Rican hound dog page. I just again, I don't. I got a fan page. I don't do it much. I need to get in the habit of doing it. But yeah. So if you go on YouTube and look for Rafael Quinones Gonzalez, find my
Facebook.
ugly face on Facebook. Did I say YouTube again? I'm getting
Yes, you
old.
did.
See, this is you know you're getting old. You keep on saying one thing when you mean another. See,
and then Damien, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is BigBJ0313, and on
he's really
Facebook,
small. He ain't
Damien
big.
Gonzalez. Yeah, my Facebook is Damien Gonzalez. Um, and you can also find me on TikTok as well. Same name, Damien Gonzalez. But I use more Instagram and Facebook
Okay.
as of late. And yeah,
Watch it. He might snap a little bit. Is that what you kids say? You don't
That's
snap?
it's
Snap and do it. Oh, that's a Slim Jim
I
commercial. My
want to say
bad.
it crash out.
yeah,
I'm gonna
Slim
crash
Jim.
out. That's what we use too.
What's with Macho Man and now with LA Knight and Macho
And
Man?
what is it? The other one? Now you got Jay Uso too. Yeet,
Yep.
yeet, yeet.
Or Jay Uso, no eat.
No yeet. Gimme,
No, you.
gimme.
But it cracks me up because like they were supposed to be like this big rivalry because of the no eat and yeet.
Yeah.
But then now they're like back to normal. Like nothing just
Yeah.
happened.
I I'm I love the whole angle. I love it. I think it's great. I just wish that they would have separated maybe them two. And when
Yeah.
they remade the bloodline, separate them. Like maybe have Jacob with Roman, and then you have Tama Tonga Tongaloa with fucking Jimmy and Solo. But you know, other than that,
Well,
I think the whole angle, the whole storyline with that is awesome.
yeah. Well, did you hear the rumor that Zilla Fatu is going to be joining Roman's team?
I'm waiting for them to bring Hikaleo.
Yeah.
They got Hikaleo. They signed Lance. Guys that are already battle tested, they should be on the. I'm sorry, they don't need to be in NXT. They should be right there on the Monday Night Raw
Yeah.
and the SmackDowns and do that. But I'm not. I'm not. I don't run WWE. If I did, we'd be having a different conversation.
Right. And it would have been like like a $3,000 check I would have to write just to get
I'm just.
noticed by the WWE.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If I was running WWE, I would hire all of the Samoans that wrestle, and I'll have one Samoan show. It'll be called like that, pay per view, one Samoa, because there's so many of them that are workers. The
Yeah.
list is huge of Samoa. Like, I think Umaga has another brother who wrestles. You got the Tongans that wrestle. It'd be a show. You got enough guys that they can have you got enough guys that you can have a serious event. I just
Yeah.
can't wait because I want to see if Tonga Loa can step up and be where he's supposed to be. Because I don't know what's going on. He was wrestling so much better when I first started training, and when they started training, and I don't know what's going on. He's doing a lot of stuff that's weird. I don't know. They did that one move at the elimination chamber, not elimination chamber, the war games that was pretty good with him that they lifted. Was it Jimmy or Jay like in a crucifix, and then Tama hit him with that freaking shoulder tackle and flipped him? I thought that was the coolest thing I've seen in that show. Other than that, and Bronson Reed almost killing himself. Other than that,
My ankles. My
that
ankles.
hurt
My
me.
ankle feels
That
it.
hurt me, and I didn't even do it. You know what I'm saying?
As a person
But
who has
yeah,
broken an ankle, I know the feeling.
I remember seeing the part of the match was Randy and Kevin versus the Tongas,
yeah,
and Tonga Loa was supposed to hit Kevin Owens with a certain move, but messed it up, and you could just see Kevin go, "Hit me again with it."
yeah,
Ah,
dude.
I can tell you. I believe it was the package power driver. But
No, he was gonna hit. He was hitting. That was when he punched Tama in
he
the
he
head
punched he
with the
punched his
low
Yeah,
brother
blow.
in the head. Yeah,
He low blowed his
yeah.
forehead. He went
Go for it again. Yeah,
again.
exactly.
But
yeah,
it
man.
is what it is. The way I look at it is he's getting nervous and stuff, so that happens.
Now we could honestly see that Samoan pay per view, or even they have like their own little promotion inside the WWE because the guy as a TKO, one of the owners,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rock is running that.
he's on
Yeah,
TV right now.
on NXT. Yeah.
Yeah, with his daughter Ava.
Oh God. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It cracks me up because if you remember, Eddie Thorpe put his hands on Ava, so my original thought, okay, Rock's coming in. He's gonna go beat up Eddie Thorpe just because of that reason.
It's enough reason.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. My food is here, so
Mm. Hot
gonna eat some
dogs. I hate hot dogs.
hot dogs.
It's the breath, bro. Nothing but the best.
Hot dogs with cheese in the middle of them.
Relish. And sauerkraut. I don't need nothing else. From New
All
York,
right.
baby,
Well,
that's what you eat: sauerkraut and hot dogs. Say it.
I don't know. I had a guy. He told me he preps his meals, and he was talking like how a quick way to like get your meal preps done in a certain less than like 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And it was oats and some fruit and stuff all mixed together.
Yep. I've heard that. I don't know if I do it.
All right. Thank you guys again for being on the podcast.
Thank
No
you.
problem, sir. Thank you for inviting.